All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Sunday, March 9th. It's actually real late, Saturday, March 8th at the time of recording, but when you guys watch this, it will be Sunday, March 9th. We are still traveling, so we have a hybrid version of the video. Usually we're going through each and every game, giving my prediction on the side, a prediction on the total, any player props we like as well, but when we do travel, we kind of shrink the video down and consolidate a little bit. So I have 3 plays coming your way in this video. We're going to take a peek at 2 different player props as well as a money line parlay. We've been throwing out these little slimy money line parlays, but they've been working out, right? And speaking of working out, let's take a peek at how we did last night. A 3-0 sweep. Let's go. We don't have the money gun to shoot off because we are traveling, and I don't bring that when I travel, but I'm sure we'll be celebrating out here tonight for this 3-0 sweep. Andrew Wiggins over 20.5 points plus assists. That cashes. Aaron Nesmith, sweaty as all hell, finishes with 14 points, so we win via the hook. And then the Rockets and the Celtics money line parlay. That's kind of what I was talking about, like the slimy parlay, but we cash it 3-0. Let's go. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, guys. Yeah, I love sweeping on the road, especially when we're having a ball out here in Vegas. If only my slot machine game was going well like this. We did hit the blackjack tables pretty well today, but yeah, the slots just weren't it. But I think that kind of just comes with the territory. You're getting into it comes with the territory, right? But let's go ahead and talk some NBA basketball. Like I said, 3 picks. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I probably better say that like 3 times. But let's jump into it. We're going to start it off with that slimy money line parlay. Grizzlies taking on the Pelicans. I like Memphis. And then Suns taking on the Mavs. I like Phoenix. So let's start with that second one. This realistically is just a fade of Dallas. Like if we look at the injury report for Dallas, it's crazy. Questionable Dante Exum and Martin, right? And then everyone else I'm about to list is already ruled out. Anthony Davis, Daniel Gafford, Hardy, Jones, Lively, Washington. We know Kyrie's out for a year now, right? So honestly, not exactly a Dallas team that even can really field a legitimate 12-man roster. This Suns team, yeah, they've been struggling. 3-7 over the last 10 games. They've been on and off the DNB graveyard in terms of having a headstone. I get that, but again, it's like anybody against this Dallas team, I don't mind throwing in at least into this parlay. Phoenix is 7.5. They are 7.5 point favorites, so obviously they're favored to win this one, and we just need them to win it. We don't need the 8 points. But overall, I hope you guys understand that this is a fade Dallas, not necessarily ride with Phoenix. And I love Phoenix. I do think they match up fairly well. I don't know where the defense of Dallas is going to come from, but overall, I just can't imagine they're going to have the depth or anything like that. So hopefully the Suns can pull this one out. On the other side, we have the Grizz taking on the Pelicans. We just kind of ran a similar strategy here, right? We took Houston against the Pelicans tonight technically, but last night for the plays, they lose 146 to 117. They were on the road there in Houston. Now they're traveling back to New Orleans. Memphis, though, does have a nice little break. They just took a win against Dallas, and now they travel to New Orleans. But you know what? I still do think that this is, even though they're traveling, they still have the rest advantage. They've won 7 of their last 10 games. They've played 3 times this year, and they've beat them each and every time. 120 to 109, 132 to 124, and then 139 to 126. You can make the argument, oh, well, pretty tough to beat a team, 4 times, right? Sure. But I don't really sit here and say that this Pelicans team is all that great. We do have some injuries, or should have some injuries, on the Memphis side of things. I still don't necessarily mind it just because I really don't see the Pelicans defense stepping up. But, and it's a big but, Santi Aldama and Jaren Jackson Jr. are listed as out for Memphis. I'm kind of viewing it in a way of, yeah, we're just getting a line that normally could be like 11.5, but now it's 8.5, and we're taking it on the money line, so it obviously alters that a little bit. So again, both of these plays, whether it's Suns over the Mavs or now Memphis over the Pelicans, just as much as we're backing the team that we're actually rolling with in the parlay, we're kind of fading the opposite team, right? Like we're fading the Pelicans, we're fading the Mavs. So yeah, Mavs against the Suns, we like the Suns, and then the Grizzlies, Pelicans, we like the Grizz. Pair those together, and you got -135 over on FD. Moving into the next 2 plays, they are in the same game, but I like both spots independently. Even if you put these in a vacuum, I do like it. We'll start it off. Rudy Gobert over 11.5 points. Now Rudy has been playing really well, right? He's coming off of a 20-point game recently. When I say playing well, I guess you could say when playing, right? I think that that's fair. I don't know if we're going to get a true any minute restriction or anything like that. Could that blow up? It could, but I also think that we're getting a really good line for him because of what he's missed 10 games, right? Before that, though, he was kind of cruising. If he doesn't play, obviously this gets voided and it's no blood. But again, I think we're getting a really good line because even if he does come back and only play a few minutes, I really like the matchup against this Spurs team. So, yes, the injury definitely is something that's concerning, I would say. But the 4 games before, being out, 13, 15, 12, and then he had 20 against Milwaukee. Milwaukee's interior defense is a hell of a lot better than the Spurs defense without Wemby, right? Spurs 26th in terms of defensive ranking defending the restricted area. 94% of Rudy Gobert's buckets come from the restricted area. Again, it's kind of just a good matchup, and because he's been hurt with the back, I think we're getting a really good line and decent odds here. So yes, we're kind of gambling on the gamble in a sense because he's questionable, he might not play, but if he comes back and hopefully he can give us 20 plus minutes, I do like Rudy Gobert in this game. Now, the one that I probably like more, and I think we should be able to trust that we're going to get a ton of minutes out of him. And if Gobert comes back, then yeah, maybe that's why this line is where it is. But Jaden McDaniels here. I really like Jaden's spot for his rebounds plus assists. Right now, we're getting it at 8.5. He's hit this in 17 of his last 20 games. His last couple games, 14 rebounds plus assists, 10 rebounds plus assists. Again, 17 of his last 20, and this should be a decent spot here against a squad that gives, I guess technically small forward, but playing at small forward and power forward, 28th in terms of ranking this San Antonio team against preventing small forwards and rebounds. And if he gets those power forward minutes, 22nd in terms of preventing that. They're allowing 8.4 and 11.2 rebounds per game to those position. So I like this spot from. This is also a game that has, a decent total at 230.5. So again, for Gobert, for McDaniels, I like the idea of kind of, a lot of action happening, miss shots, makes, that type of stuff. Because again, we do need the assists from him. But 8.5 should be decent, should be a good look for him. Again, we want the minutes. Last game played 35 minutes, the game before 38, 37 before that, 33. If we look at games this season, right, we could pull this up so I can get this correct. When he does play 35, I want to make sure I get the right number here. When he does play 35 or more minutes this year, he's hit in 72% of games, averaging over 10 rebounds plus assists. So yeah, I also don't just mind this rebound. His rebound line I think is at 6.5 for decent odds as well if you want to pivot in that direction. But yeah, Jaden McDaniels here over 8.5 rebounds plus assists is going to round it out. So just to recap here, we get the slimy little money line parlay, Grizzlies and Suns. We got the Rudy Gobert over 11.5 points, and then finishing off with Jaden McDaniels over 8.5 rebounds plus assists. There's a little bit of risk involved with these ones because again, Gobert could be banged up, minutes restriction, might not play. We got the Suns, we got Memphis with the injuries. Like, I get it. But in all honesty, I do like these 3 plays. So hopefully we are looking at another 3-0 night. We got a lot of crap in the comments for rolling with Aaron Nesmith. People are like, why are you doing that? And if you looked at the first half, you probably would call me an idiot. And then all of a sudden he clutches up and comes through for us, right? So sometimes these plays that you think are just stupid end up being the most genius plays. And then sometimes you think you're a genius and you end up looking real stupid. But we'll see how this one plays out. That's all I have for you guys. Again, appreciate you if you did stick around during this video, even though it's a little bit different. It's obviously when we're traveling and stuff, the video quality, the audio quality might not be all that great. But we'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.